Hello everyone, welcome to the walkthrough of the Exmortis 3 demo. With this recording I am playing this with the full game as opposed to the playable demo. I was unable to find the demo online, so we will do with a better version, as in the better graphics. Now the full game of Exmortis 3 has 5 chapters. The chapter that the demo plays through is Extinction. Now there's one more difference between the demo and the full game, is that the demo has 11 achievements, while the full game has 10. The 11th achievement on the demo is simply for completing the demo. Now a lot of you will, or had, only played the demo, so I want to show you everything that I know of the demo. I will make a walkthrough of the full game later. So, to start with, here's the main menu. I always love the red color. Red is a good color. That is Vlay there. I don't know what form that is he is in. It could be his original form, or his corporeal form, his demonic form, his astral form. Whichever. But that's pretty good. And actually and also we'll be talking about a little about the full game as well, because of course it's tied with the demo. The graphics in this game are probably the best part of this game. The graphics are good. And as for the game itself, mostly fans of the series will enjoy it the best. My computer is getting a little tired over the years, so this might be a little lagged. And of course, you know, usual. I already have saved games because I'm doing other videos. The backstory. Before I jump there, let me jump to settings real fast. There's not much here, just for like adjusting the brightness and the sound volume. Sound volume's default at 50. But I put it down to 25 so you can hear me. The story so far. Now this is basically the Book of Exmortis paraphrased, or it's just basically the Book of Exmortis just in a different wording. Like in the original game of Exmortis, across the Book of Exmortis and Exmortis 2, and this game also have that story in each game, but it's worded differently. I guess, you know, to make, you know, not making all the same thing each time. So I will read this to you. It's your punishment. The story so far, the Dominion War. Before the dawn of man and beast, abhorrent mystical creatures roamed the earth realm. Darkness and chaos was a way of life. There were no rules, and no life as we know it today. Amongst these diabolical creatures, a creed of sentience known as the Ancients existed. For their kind transcended life, death, time, and reality. Their power and strength knew no limits, as did their lust for conquest and blood. In due time, the nature of the Ancients would see them assert their rule over the lesser entities of the Earth realm, their greed and arrogance eventually turning them against their own kind, until only 3 ruling Ancients remained. Kafafta, not sure if that's the correct pronunciation, I looked it up, I haven't found it. The Merciless, Osrael the Tactician, and Vlay the Manipulator. 3 brothers of the ancient kindred, fighting tirelessly against one another for undisputed claim over all that exists. As a result of his treacherous ways, Vlay would emerge victorious and lay claim to the throne built on the river of his enemy's blood. Ruling with an iron fist, and caring only for limitless power, Vlay elevated himself to godlike status. However, Vlay's rule will be short-lived, knowing full well that only the powers wielded by another ancient could bring harm and even death to Vlay. A group of distant, lesser demons had found a way to banish the ancient's spiritual form to a crimson limbo known as the spirit world, thus removing him from the earth realm. Now this part about another ancient means you can only kill them The only way to kill one of the ancients or harm them, as in like if you're in a battle with them, is only another ancient could do so, because they only want to have the power and qualifications. I'm not that good at this commentating stuff, so bear with me. It is beginning. Over the course of many eons, ruling races of demons rose and fell victim to a similar fate. Eventually, they too were excommunicated to the spirit world to join life forces with the disembodied Vlay. The consolidated entity was to become what is known as Legion, otherwise referred to as the Exmortis. The Exmortis had no physical influence over the Earth realm. However, it was foreseen that with the rise of mankind in the Earth realm, an opportunity to return to the physical world would once more present itself, and thus the Exmortis lay dormant until the day the Hand would release a demonic plague upon the Earth, unlike any humanity had ever seen. Now, the Hand from the first game is the person they had anointed to he became the pathway between the spirit realm and the earth realm, allowing the Exmortis and Vlay to cross over into our world. The Redeemer. And so it came to be. The Exmortis were unleashed upon the earth once more. Wave after wave of demonic fury poured out across the land, laying waste to all that stood in the way. A man, the Redeemer, was chosen by the Shadow Man, aka Vlay, to begin a quest to rid the world of this demonic plague. A quest that would see the Redeemer's soul forever anchored to the spirit world. For it was his selfless act of blind faith that allowed him to be successful. And before long, the link between worlds was broken, and Exmortis was forever removed from the Earth realm. That refers to the end of Exmortis 2, in which your character kills the Hand with a Chris blade, thus closing the portal. Mankind had received a reprieve, albeit a temporary one, for one member of the Exmortis remained, its leader Vlay, and once more as a result of the ancient's treachery, the Redeemer was slain, and Vlay remained unchallenged in his return to rule over the Earth realm and the remnants of humanity. But the Redeemer shall rise again, and Vlay's dominion will once more be challenged. At the end of Exmortis 2, your character, Hannah, was killed by Vlay, and now Hannah's spirit is in the spirit realm, where he remained for an undetermined amount of time. Now, Vlay is the only remaining Exmortis, as stated earlier, and he's here to reassert his rule over the world. The start. Yeah, like I said before, the only chapter we're playing is Extinction. Upon the wings of fire and devastation I return, reborn into a world that I once knew. Strange archaic powers, foreign and twisted, surged through me. How I came to be here as more than human I remember not. But I promise this, I will have my revenge upon the ancient enemy Vlay, and my people will taste freedom once again. As for the quick start guide, I am skipping it. So you may be wondering what was with the nuclear explosion and now we're in the crater. So I'm going to have to spoil parts of Chapter Exile from the full game for you to understand this. Like I said, Mr. Hannay was in the spirit realm. Well, he eventually, after roaming it for eons or so, he eventually encounters Azrael, Vlay's brother. Now, Azrael gave him his power of, even the power of telekinesis and also his life force as an ancient, because only that can defeat Vlay. Azrael asked Hannay to kill him as an act of mercy. It's not relevant to the demo, but... And then a portal opens in the spirit realm after Azrael gives Hannay his essence and power that allowed him to return to the Earth realm. Hannay's return to the Earth realm resulted in an explosion, and here's the crater he's in. The reason why he doesn't remember is I don't know why, but like I'll show you in a second where you entered Chapter Exile. Before we get there, we gotta get out of this crater. Now, of course, a point-and-click game, you combine objects, but only twice in the entire game, and that's in this chapter. Now, I'm going to show you two ways of getting out of this hole. Now, I'm going to be reading like the descriptions of whenever you point your arrow at it, but then I'll read every single one. Combine the hook and cable. Yes. Use. There's one. The other is use your power at telekinesis, which you start the game off with. There's my hand. There you go. Now this here, actually I have the full game, so, but I'm not going to leave you in there yet. It's just about the demo. Now this here is technically the first chapter because it happened before Extinction, but your character's remembering back to it. Yeah. This stuff here is actually well, when you play the actual demo, not the full game, it shows you the preview of Exmortis 3. But here in the full game, it's not there. I guess they didn't have anything put there, so. Yeah. And since we're at this wonderful, famous screen, I'm going to show you the main menu. Here's the inventory. As you can see, I have nothing. Now, in the game, you have health, obviously. You have powers, you have mercy. Only your powers and health affect your gameplay. Mercy is basically like related to the very end. Like, are you a kind spirit, or kind-spirited, darkly slanted, or sadistically evil? There's like the very three last endings. And the score, like you had, the game has it where you can record your score, you know, against other players on Fizzy, because Fizzy.com was where the game, only place the game could be purchased. Almost no one else ever played it, so I didn't bother with it, you know, sharing my score. I did a couple of times, but now the correlation between your health and your powers. Now some powers take health and add power. We'll call it power juice. And of course, when you do health, like I think with first aid kits and stuff, it doesn't affect your powers, but you do have a power in the very last chapter of the full game in which it does reduce your power of juice and increase your health. But that's not relevant to this either. I'm just trying to help you get a visualization of the vitals here. Your powers. Now, I'm assuming many people don't know, but you get 3 powers in this demo. Telekinesis, obviously. Perception, basically useless. And teleportation, which is basically useful. These other two, actually, this one doesn't occur until the very last chapter, the power of regeneration. and destruction occurs in the second to last, Exodus. Now, as I was saying with the vitals earlier, you see the power +3 and health nil. Let's see if I find another one. The teleportation here, it gives you 5 power juice, but it takes away 5 health. Now, this is when I'm referring to regeneration, I'm mainly referring like how the items work, of course. And you're probably saying, why are you repeating yourself so much? We got it. Okay. Here's credits. Now, Ben Leffler was the main curator with this, but he teamed up with third party and developed Exmortis 3. He loves this game, he's very proud of it. I say that as for overall, he did really well, although there are some things I will point out that, yeah, could have some work on or not be there in the game altogether. Of course, you got settings, it travels with you everywhere. Achievements. Now, whenever you get achievement, it shows up here, and it has something written with it. Walkthrough. No, we don't want your walkthrough, but no, let's do your walkthrough. Okay. I just never mind, I don't know what I'm saying. Now here, it basically tells you how to get everywhere. Here, I did both of these for you. So, as for the walkthrough here and the guide I just exited out earlier on the very first place, my version of it is what you're going to see. You guys don't want to read, that's why I'm reading to you. Load game, save game, we got it. Let's go back. So, Brockton City. This is the nearby city that you landed near. New power added. That would be perception. Identify points of interest in the immediate area. Now, this basically tells you all the places you can go. Like, oh, where can I go? All these places. That's it. It does nothing else. Well, it tells you places you can go or things you can click on. I meant to say it that way. But that's it. And when I first played the game, I hardly ever used it, and I still don't even use it. I use it even less. So, we got rocks and rubble and debris litter what used to be a main road. Everything is covered by a thin layer of ash. My return was explosive, but something else caused all this destruction. So we follow the road to the marina. There's a sniper up here. I should either retreat or fight back, as just down the hill will get me killed. From here I can just make out the Brockton marina. Fortunately, there is a sniper. Capsized boat bobs up and down, harbor to my right. Well, let's evacuate. We'll return here later. Here is an old exploded boiler. Go on, show. That was nothing of interest to me. Oh, a rope. Yeah! Fireplace poker. Now these are the only other items you can combine in the entire game, but I won't combine until we're about to use them. Achievements. Our first achievement. Sometimes it may be hard to click on. Echo Tooth. Achievement rewarded. I won't do this every single time, but maybe at the most significant times. You found the gold tooth in chapter Extinction. What authority for achievement awarded? Or as for the demo, 1 of 11. So let's head back. And here is the BA apartments, Brockton Apartments. But before we go there, I want to go here. Not here. I misclicked. Here. To the shopping area. And we are going to click on a silver bloodstained sedan. And climb in the passenger side door. But I mean, look at these graphics. It's really great. They did, did great work with this. So I pull off the car keys of dead man. I also put out his wallet. This leather wallet was found on the corpse in the car. It consists of a driver's license, approximately $50 in cash, various credit cards, and a peppermint flavored children's condom. Well, we had no use for the condom, so we're going to use the car keys on the glove box to get the map. Spilt. New power added. Teleportation. Now, when you bring up teleportation, your character will automatically open the map, and you can only travel to places you have already been to. For example, the marina. So something about it even. I also wanted to add that in a game when you get shot at, you actually don't get killed in one shot. They have to repeatedly shoot you until you die, and actually it takes a long time, especially if you're in good health. So let's return. Sorry. Let's return over here. Welcome bandits to the escape. Smoke bellows into the ashen sky from a fire off somewhere in the distance. As I look around at me, the immense destruction of the city overwhelms me with hatred for the Exmortis. Here is a supermarket. There are some batteries. They might come in handy. No, not really, but okay. Now this register is numeric code, and we'll get it in the apartments. So we will return here. To the right is the way into the subway system. I can't go here, but I can try my telekinesis on it. I didn't focus enough. There you go. Okay, it seems the security gate is too well fortified for my powers to work on this. Also, you can click here to go to something that probably doesn't exist anymore because there's a massive change on the website. The cityscape has been completely destroyed along the street. The concrete monoliths only now serve as a reminder of how fragile humanity was. I mean, you're reading, like in the last game when you're reading the newspaper clippings about, yeah, well, maybe, humanity pretty much lost right away and stuff, but they actually did do some, they did make some progress, albeit very little, but they were able to make some. And it shows like they're not completely helpless. Humanity, that is. A shaky looking apartment block stands defiantly to my left. I can't imagine it being terribly sound from a structural point of view, because that could be dangerous. Also, and another thing I want to note is that for this chapter that the demo plays through is basically it's just this. You're just searching for stuff, getting a story, getting to, familiar with your powers and stuff like that. A light fitting used to be here. Let's pull it out. Oh, wires. Alrighty, we'll come back to this. Dry blood and entrails stain almost every surface in here. The floor here was once carpeted, but now is a mess of garbage, ash, and blood. The smell is indescribable. I can only liken it to that of a slaughterhouse. Whatever happened here must have been epic. Epically fast. There is staff only. Grab the fire extinguisher. You will need it later. For achievements. A small pressurized fire extinguisher, preferably putting out fires. The radio. No transistor radio. Does appear to be working. Till now. I made a mistake earlier when I was talking about combining objects. There's only 2 times to do it. Actually, it's 3 times. There's the hook and the cable, the poker and the rope, the radio and the batteries. You don't want to use it right now. Next. A massive hole has been punched through to a cavity hidden in the wall. Whatever was in here is long gone now. However, a note has been left on the floor. A note addressed to a person named Jim. It reads, "If you're alive, and if you're reading this, I moved the package to room 13. We're gonna send these fuckers all back to hell. Tucker." Guess we'll need to rewire the circuit out there to get the gate open. A first aid kit or a health pack. 50%. How am I doing? I am not doing well. Let's go upstairs. This is a fire door to level 1 in the BA apartments. It would open. But there's not a fire. Looking up and to my left reveals that a cave-in of the upper levels has blocked any further advance of the staircase. There we go. We saw Vlay. Yes, I believe it did. I'm pretty sure. A barred window up ahead. This man, this poor soul, impaled through the chest and left hanging from the wall. How long has he been here, though? This looks fairly recent. The letter R is surrounded by a circle. It is sprayed on the wall with black paint. What could it mean? No way to apartment number 23. I didn't get it because I didn't do the circuit. So let's head back downstairs. There we go. So, you put the post-it note up. This will give you an achievement. Follow me closely. I forgot, you can also try your telekinesis on the gate, but it still doesn't open. But hey, what the heck? Now we can use the keys. Or the key. Open the window. Now there's 2 ways you can break this window. One is, of course, you can use your powers. Or you can use the poker. The poker and a rope. Well, no, you can't. That's one you use to climb out. I'm at the fire extinguisher. Achievement! Now you put the rope and poker there. Before we climb out, let's look around. Hidden away in the shadows on the left is a silver-plated candlestick holder. It could have held some value back in the days, but, you know, ended in the world and all. Appears to be an envelope filled with papers. Letters to Michael. We will read those in a second. There's this correspondence. We will read that after we read the letters to Michael. A pencil. We can use this on a blank piece of paper to get the code for the till in the marketplace. It's the same every time. Put your pencil down. Yeah, there you go. It's for till. Make sure I'm not missing anything. A jar of sugar and a pile of coasters. And nothing else. So, story time. A series of letters written to someone named Michael, and these were found in Unit 23 of Brockton Apartments. Now, before I commence with story time, the person writing these letters to someone named Michael, the person is someone who is stationed here in Brockton City of the resistance movement. I think his name is Jim something. Hold on, let me double check. I can't exit out of here. No. Yeah, okay. Not we're Jim. We're Henry, but the person who wrote these letters is Jim. Michael. It seems rather stupid of me to open this letter to you by asking how things are in Hobbs Junction. As headquarters for the resistance movement in this area, I've asked for regular updates from my unit commander on the Shadow Man's follower movement through your area, and so far they appear to have left your area alone, so I trust that both you and Connie are safe. Life remains the same here in the ruins of Brockton City. Drake and I have taken up refuge in a resistant safe house that overlooks what was once Key Street, the main arterial of the city. We have been tasked with providing the resistance reports on any movements that the Shadow Man's followers make through this part of town. Thus far, I have only encountered scavengers. They're humans, but they're loyal neither to the resistance nor to the Shadow's regime. But don't be fooled by my friend. If you were cross paths with one of these scavengers, Michael, I can only suggest that you put him or her down immediately without second thought. They are only concerned with their own survival, even if that means turning to murder and cannibalism. What has happened to the human race these past years? The darkness, born of the presence of the demon hordes of Exmortis, shrouds this god-forsaken planet still, casting a sickening shadow over the countryside. It grows darker still towards the epicenter of the Shadow Man's dominion. We that remain loyal to the resistance pass what information we can by word of mouth, but every day that passes sees our number diminished. Hunted, tortured, and murdered, the Shadow Army grows strong, even as we weaken. However, those of us who remain firm to our resolve, we will banish Vlay and his fawning minions. The scheduled weekly arrival of the resistance couriers is upon me now. I will write as often as possible, my friend. Stay strong, and know that it is our soul that sets us apart from the enemy. Tucker. Oh, I'm Tucker. Fuck. Who's Jim? I haven't read it in a while, so I got my characters mixed up. The person writing this is Tucker. Michael, I hope you and Connie are still doing fine. Johnson, my unit commander, made mention via wire that you were involved in a skirmish with some local Shadow Army goons. It's good to hear that you managed to escape without incident. Last thing that I want is for you or Connie to be killed, or worse yet, locked away and tortured like animals. Not much has changed here in Brockton. Drake and I are taking shifts and watching the debris filled streets outside the window. When one of us recon, the other is out scouring through the destroyed Market City supermarket for any food that may help get us through the extended stay we are experiencing. I've been having a little bit of trouble lately with the local dog population. It seems they are getting just as desperate as we are. I was almost set upon by a pack of wild mutts just 3 days ago, but thankfully I was quick enough to act by firing my sidearm into the air and scaring them off. Next time I fear I will need to put a bullet or two into a few of them to stave off an attack. They're getting as smart as they are desperate. Before things started to become more dangerous around these parts, I had decided to do a little bit of scouting around the area. It's amazing how much damage the Exmortis did to the city when they swept through here 6 years ago, killing everything in sight. Not much is left intact. Only a handful of buildings remain standing. So I've decided to push my search area a little further tomorrow to see if I can expand my knowledge of the area. You just never know when such knowledge will come in handy. When the shit hits the fan, I want to be on a beeline back to the relative safety of Resistance HQ. Be safe, my friend. Tucker. Michael, we made an amazing discovery today. While Drake ran recon from the apartment, I felt that it was time to brave the open city once more. I came across an old electronics warehouse in what was once the central business district of Brockton. Whilst nearly every item I found upon examination of the store was almost beyond repair, I managed to locate an unopened box in the back room. My expectations were high, but I soon realized that I had in my possession a box of solar panels in perfect condition. Knowing Drake's background as an electric engineer before the Exmortis arrived, I decided to drag the parts back to our stronghold for him to assemble and to put good use of somehow. And I tell you, that man is a genius. Drake managed to install the panels onto the roof of our building as well as running wire down into the apartment and lobby. Now we have the ability to charge our batteries, run hot water, and run simple circuits for a short amount of time each day. It may not sound like much, but such a simple luxury brought a lifetime hope to us both. We spent the next shift working together, talking and laughing as if we were locked in an ongoing battle to fight for the future of our race. For the first time in years, we both remembered what it was like to feel happy. The simple things in life are often the best, my friend. Tucker. Dearest Michael, Drake is dead, or so I assume. Considering the success of my scavenger hunt last week, a companion at this post took it upon himself to reform one of his own. I briefed him quickly on the areas of the district that I had searched in weeks past as he left at first daybreak. So I began my recon shift, watching from my vantage point as he disappeared around a pile of rubble to begin a search for more items of interest. 8 hours had passed before I grew concerned that I had not seen or heard a single thing from my comrade. As you can imagine, I began to worry, especially with the daylight coming to an end and ravenous packs of dogs becoming a more frequent occurrence after dark. I had to make a call. Do I complete a quick sweep of the area, risking my own life so close to dusk? Or do I ride the night out at my post and search for him in the morning? At the end of the day, my importance to the Resistance as a dead man as far outweighed my importance as a living one. Thus I chose to wait for morning. Come daybreak, I ventured out in search of Drake. Just when I was about to give up and return to my post, I came across a sight that made my heart sink and my stomach turn. At the stairway near the mouth of the subway system, a thick line of dark red blood trailed, but to make matters worse, a security shutter was drawn on the subway entrance, blocking me from investigating. Whatever was dragged down those steps into the darkness, and I can only assume it was Drake, was now trapped down there. I have no way of getting through the shutter, or even confirming if Drake is still alive somehow. I now have to live with my decision to not venture out yesterday evening to search for him. Maybe, just maybe, I could have saved him. But I can't think like that. Can I? Either way, I am alone now, but still with a job to do. Tucker. Michael. The nights grow restless. My solitude is taking its toll upon my patience. With every moment that passes, I grow wary of just sitting and watching the gale force wind slicing their way through the debris-filled carnage of the street. I have wired my unit commander, asking for a replacement for Drake. However, he responded that it wasn't possible. Apparently, the Resistance had taken on some heavy casualties in recent weeks, and he is of the opinion that without confirmation of Drake's demise, his hands are tied on the issue. Johnson also made mention that there may have been reports of increased enemy movement on the road north into Brockton City. Apparently, it was just too dangerous to send anyone else. Every man comes with important value to the Resistance now. So it appears that I have no choice but to sit here and stew in my own sense of duty and waning patience. Tucker. Michael, I must apologize. I did not mean to not inquire in my last 2 letters how you or Connie are holding up. My dismay in recent weeks at losing Drake has clouded my better manners. I have some disturbing news from Brockton City, my friend. A few nights ago, I was startled from my sleep by the distant sound of drums and chanting. Upon gazing out from my vantage point, I happened upon a faint orange glow permeating the horizon west of my position. I decided that this was a circumstance which would require closer inspection, but once again I would have to travel by day, for the dangers at night are far too great. Next morning, It didn't take me long to locate the source of the disturbance. Beyond the crest of the outer suburbs of Brockton, I had discovered a base camp being established. A supply line was set up as a significant portion of the camp consisted of supplies, food, and weaponry. I slinked my way a little closer to investigate, taking refuge in a half-collapsed garage. It was then that I discovered a cavalry of the Shadow Army gathering in a clearing separate from the main camp. From the looks of the markings on their vehicles, they were advanced recon scouts preparing to sweep of the city. And usually preceding scout sweeps, Shadow Marchers, the enforcers of Flay's Law, perform search and destroy missions. My friend, I fear that my time here in Brockton City may be limited. Pray for me. Tucker. Michael, I trust you had heard the news. Beyond Brockton City limits the Shadow Army masses. The smallish camp I discovered a week ago has decreased in size exponentially. It appears that Vlad has identified Brockton City as a likely haven for a main portion of the resistance. I think it is fair to assume the city is about to be razed to the ground. Over the horizon, the sound of drums and chanting cut the night air like a finely tuned blade slices through the warm flesh. I've observed a few light, advanced recon units scouting their way through the streets below me. They search for ambush spots or any sign of resistance presence. Thus far, I have managed to keep my position in this apartment complex a secret. However, the temptation to load my sniper rifle and take out a few of these traitors is almost overwhelming at times. But I continue to resist any such urge as I once again remind myself that my responsibilities to the resistance far outweigh what my inevitable resulting death will bring. For the moment, though, I sit tight and wait for the order to come from Johnson to pull out and retreat. I may be rejoining you shortly, Michael, and it will be like the old days, fighting side by side once more. Tucker. Michael, I have spoken to Johnson, my unit commander. It seems that the order for me to pull out may not come to fruition. In fact, I can probably expect the opposite. The Resistance leadership hierarchy has identified this large gathering of the Shadow Army in one area as an opportunity to deal a significant blow to the Shadow Man's efforts. I'm not sure exactly how they intend taking advantage of this gathering, but Johnson made a point of explaining to me how important it is that I stay where I am and avoid detection by enemy forces at all costs. As it is, I am already running great risk in writing this to you, so I'm afraid that this will need to be my final communique with you for now. Suffice to say, I hope all is still well in the old... H.J., my friend, wish me luck with whatever mission I am about to embark upon. I may not return from this one alive. Tucker. Dear Mr. Tucker, we regret to inform you that Mr. Michael Dunlop lost his life carrying out his duty whilst bravely defending comrades under enemy fire. We accept our deepest sympathy and condolences for your loss. Due to a backlog of communications, we have undelivered correspondence between you and the deceased. As a result, we have marked these items as returned to sender and have included them within the package before you. I trust you will find you well. With great regret, J.P. Newton, Comms HQ. So Tucker was stationed here, as I stated before I read. He was stationed here with Drake. Drake would actually come in a little bit later, just, very minutely, like just a passing observation. The reason, they reference a package, and that's when these wired orders come into play. The package entered to your assigned location. Accept receipt of package upon arrival. Stop. Communicating Morse code. Take your exact location with a circle letter R for delivery purposes. Tag your exact location. That's what the R outside of the apartment was for. Hide package. Arrange secondary site and advise primary location via wire. That's what Johnson said. Confirmation of arrival of the package. Package arrived. Payload primary location and maintenance room drywall. That's downstairs where we found the radio extinguisher and stuff. Secondary location prepped and confirmed. Recon operation resumed. We're waiting for their orders. Took her out. So they relocated the package to another location, which actually is in the first floor. Intel confirms enemy plans to use Brockton City as base for future attacks on our operations. The area holds a great deal of strategic importance to the enemy, therefore the city must be destroyed. Relocate package to secondary site and prepare to initiate detonation sequence on my order. Johnson out. Also, Intel confirms your position is now compromised. Shadow Marchers en route to your immediate location. Initiate package detonation sequence and rendezvous with Alpha Squad. Jim Lyle dispatched to be your contact at Brockton Marina for extraction. Quick confirmation of status at earliest convenience. Johnson out. So the letter we found in the maintenance room, I'll call it, was a note to Jim from Tucker. And so Jim was dispatched to Marina. That's who was shooting at us when we were just there. Because they don't know who we are, so they're going to assume we're an enemy. Besides, leave back unlikely. Enemy has been pinned down in room 23. Defense perimeter breached. Remote charges ineffective due to timer malfunction. Put out from pack-up position at secondary site. I am unable to initiate the package detonation sequence. Advise Jim Lyle. You will need to detonate package for me if planned extraction is unsuccessful. Tucker out. Gulliver's lookout reporting massive detonation within Brockton city limits. Please advise status of the package. Johnson out. Now I believe this massive exposed detonation that they're referring to is our character Hannah's arrival. So Tucker is dead. So we climb down here. This is the room, the secondary site where they put the components. Holy shit! Is that what I think it is? I guess the Resistance was intending on using a suitcase nuke to take out a few enemies. Got 10 minutes left. Is it working? We're out of time. I'm going to pretend for a moment I know what these cylinders are. But from the symbol emblazoned on them, I can only assume that they are bad news to fool around with. So let's grab the detonator. So I guess like whatever's wrong with it, it has to be manually detonated. But we need to not manually detonate it. I don't remember what. I can't remember what it's. These are 3 items I'm picking up. I can't remember what they're for, but he manually detonated. He manually armed it and everything. But I guess he was killed in the process. And there's Tucker. A man in a hood and camel gear pants strung up across the doorway, blocking it being opened. This poor man appears disemboweled. The contents of his abdomen lies half exposed on the floor beneath him. Put that down. Let's grab that sniper rifle. Yeah, so Tucker left that letter for Jim, because Jim makes it back to the apartments to tell him where he moved the package. This is kind of foolish in my opinion, because obviously Vlay's forces can read. So instead of walking all the way, we are teleporting to the marina. Now Jim Lyle, the other guy who is in town, he's the sniper shooting at us, so we're going to shoot back at him and kill the bastard. Now there are 2 achievements in the next few seconds while we're looking through the scope. Well, not while looking. One of them is killing the sniper. Like I said, there's Vlad. That's one achievement. There's Jim Lyle. I actually like how the shooting combat is with this. It doesn't make it super easy. Not I rather enjoy it, but we can make a game like this. Just with a good story to it and everything. I'm definitely gonna need that health back. Sorry, Jim, but you're gonna have to die. The motorboat reasonable and hopefully working condition is moored to the wharf. However, you cannot start it without a key. Brockton City Marina. I think this place has been seeing better days. It looks gutted and beyond repair. Looks like it's about to collapse. So now we will teleport to the supermarket so we can open that till. So, Market City Market. Here we are here. That's the apartments. It's the market. I guess I better read faster. We only have less than 5 minutes. Last 6 minutes. The till. So let me bring up that note. Paper. Code 2670. I found a gold Rolex watch. Let me see how many achievements we got so far. I should have all of them by now. Yep. So, all 10 achievements. And for the demo, the 11th is for completing the demo. Says we killed the Brockton war sniper shooter McGavin. 3-hour tour. Fun to clear down the motorboat of that Brockton's marina. Seeing things. Using a rifle, you spot a strange dark figure that seems to be following you. Which in my walk through the full game, I'll, give my opinion on that. So, we can't open the subway because our powers are strong enough, but we have an explosive pack which we will wire and manually detonate. I noticed the video is pretty long. But I want to include as much in here as possible. Okay, so I will pause the recording and I will resume when this timer's down because I want to show you what happens if you run out of time. Obviously, the nuclear explosive explodes. It's in my desk in Exmortis 3. In our remaining time of our life, we will read the cityscape. Burned out shop front and apartment building teeters to my immediate right. Looking into his dark belly reveals empty space and a strong charcoal aroma. 10 seconds left of life. So, this bomb is to wipe out the Blaze forces in this area. No. Yeah. Alright. Well, as for the working radio, technically it works, but you never hear anything. I spend like a long time trying to hear something. It's not a good time. Now it's not a good time because I didn't think of it before I got to the bomb. Now, when I first experimented with this, I was outside in the main street. How many channels? 12? Might have been better if I used the exact time I picked it up. To help so you guys don't get all scatterbrained. I get scatterbrained. Well, I'm confused though. R A 8 C Shift it? Shift R. Whichever. Teleport me, baby. Oh, we didn't kill a guy. I'm gonna kill the sniper again, just because I want to. Boy, Tucker. Queen of Nuts. Kill him. Kill him. I'm killing Jim with Tucker's rifle. Hello, Vlay. Let's read some more. Let's teleport to the subway entrance. Now, before I do that one, this is Brockton here. It's probably the rest of Brockton, all this. Kingston. There's another area here, as you can read. Like I said, I'm trying to think of everything I can. So, explosive pack. Use cold wire coil. A detonator. Now it's static here in the background, the radio is still turned on. It just doesn't show up there because there's not a good signal. I just want to turn the damn thing off. Let's go get the watch. Alright. Let's GTFO. One more time, I'll show you the achievements. Right! Oh, I must miss something. Never mind. Oh, I did click on the bomb. And I did click on the boat. So I will show you the up till it says chapter exposure. In a demo it doesn't show you this. And that was chapter Extinction. And my walkthrough of the full game I'll be doing is obviously going to be some sort of a repetition between this chapter and the demo and the full game walkthroughs. So I'll try to mix it up a little bit. But anyways, it's an hour-long walkthrough of a demo. But I hope you enjoyed. And I found it rather informative. Anyways, I'll see you next time.